Why do your legs feel weaker, even when you're doing everything right? You eat nutritious meals, you take walks, you try to stay active, but lately you've started noticing something unsettling. Climbing stairs feels more like scaling a hill. Getting out of a chair takes just a little more effort than it used to. And there's a quiet ache, sometimes in your calves, sometimes behind your knees, that lingers after only a short stroll. You might ask yourself, is this just aging? Or could there be something else quietly sabotaging your strength? Here's what almost no one talks about: the fruits we've always been told are good for us. Fruits we label as healthy, natural, and safe may not be so harmless after all. Especially after the age of 60, certain fruits can disrupt your blood sugar, inflame your joints, and reduce circulation to your legs. And the worst part, the damage doesn't scream, it whispers. Quietly, day by day, until one morning your legs don't move the way they once did. But here's the good news. Once you know the hidden culprits, you can take back control. In this video, you'll discover 7 fruits that may be quietly harming your leg strength and mobility. You'll also learn what to eat instead. Fruits that support circulation, reduce joint pain, and keep your legs strong, steady, and pain-free as you age. These are small changes, but they bring big results. Because when you feed your body the right way, you don't just survive, you thrive. Pineapple, the acid that tricks you. You? At first glance, pineapple seems like a perfect fruit. It's vibrant, tropical, juicy, and refreshing. And it carries a long, standing reputation for being an anti-inflammatory food, thanks to bromelain, a powerful enzyme believed to reduce swelling and improve recovery. For years, nutritionists and health coaches have praised pineapple for its natural healing properties. But here's the twist that most people, especially those over 60, don't know: pineapple may be doing more harm than good to your legs. Despite its positive image, pineapple is loaded with natural sugars and strong fruit acids. While bromelain might support an inflammation reduction in some contexts, the accompanying sugar and acidity create a double-edged sword, particularly in aging bodies. As we age, our blood vessels become more delicate and less elastic. That means sugar spikes don't just come and go, they do damage. And pineapple, despite being natural, delivers a rapid surge of fructose into the bloodstream. That sugar surge leads to inflammation, especially in the smaller blood vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to your legs, feet, and joints. What does this look like in daily life? You might notice that after eating pineapple, your knees feel stiffer when you get up. Your calves might burn or swell slightly after walking a short distance. Or you may feel a strange heaviness in your legs, like you're dragging weights, even though you've been resting all day. These symptoms may not scream for attention. They whisper, and most people don't associate them with their diet, especially with a fruit that's supposed to be healthy. Then comes the second layer of danger: acidity. Pineapple is one of the most acidic fruits. This acid doesn't just affect your stomach. It can irritate the soft tissues in your joints, especially if you already deal with arthritis, gout, or chronic inflammation. Acid in the bloodstream can act like fuel to an already burning fire. It can intensify the discomfort you feel in your hips, knees, and ankles. That tingling stiffness you wake up with. It may be more than just your age. It may be pineapple working in the background. And if you're taking medications, especially blood thinners, you should be extra cautious. Bromelain is known to interact with certain drugs, altering their effectiveness. It may amplify their strength or reduce their impact, leading to unpredictable results and added strain on your circulation. Most seniors are never warned about this interaction. They simply continue eating pineapple, believing they're making a smart choice, when in fact they're slowly making movement more difficult. What makes pineapple so tricky is that it doesn't produce instant dramatic side effects. You won't eat a few slices and suddenly feel pain. Instead, the decline is subtle. Week after week, small shifts in energy balance or joint comfort begin to build up. Then one day it becomes clear standing, walking, or even stretching feels harder than it used to. You start blaming your age, but the real culprit may be sitting on your plate. If you're someone who enjoys pineapple frequently, it's important to ask yourself, do I often feel heaviness in my legs after meals? Do my joints seem more inflamed after tropical fruits? Have I noticed more stiffness without any new injury or change in activity? If the answer is yes, you may want to reconsider how often you include pineapple in your diet. So, what can you do instead? You don't need to cut out fruit entirely, but choosing low acid, low sugar fruits can make a tremendous difference. Swap out pineapple for berries, like blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries. These fruits are rich in antioxidants, gentle on blood sugar, and known to improve circulation. They're also anti-inflammatory by nature, and unlike pineapple, they don't carry the same acidic load. Ultimately, it's not about eliminating all healthy foods. It's about understanding which foods are healthy for your current stage of life. Pineapple may have worked for you in your 30s or 40s, but now it might be time to turn the page. Your legs carry your independence. Don't let a fruit disguised as medicine steal that away from you. Bananas, the muscle myth. Bananas are widely known as the go-to fruit for athletes. They're praised for being high in potassium, easy to digest, and perfect for muscle recovery. You've probably heard it before. Eat a banana to prevent cramps. It's a common belief, and for younger active individuals it often works. But for seniors over 60, the story changes. Bananas contain high amounts of natural sugars and rapid, digesting carbohydrates, which can lead to a sudden increase in blood sugar levels. When your body was younger, it could handle that spike. Insulin responses were strong, metabolism was efficient. But with age, the body's ability to regulate sugar declines. Insulin resistance becomes more common, and each spike contributes to a gradual inflammatory burden, especially on the lower limbs. That's where the myth begins to fall apart. Instead of fueling your muscles, bananas may actually be fueling inflammation. You might feel a quick burst of energy after eating one, but a few hours later the impact sets in. Your legs feel heavier. Your ankles seem slightly swollen. You notice a dull pressure when climbing stairs or walking for more than a few minutes. Sound familiar? What's worse is that this happens quietly. Unlike an injury, the effects of sugar and fluid retention don't scream for attention. They build up slowly until you're facing joint stiffness, chronic fatigue in your calves, or unexplained ankle discomfort. But sugar isn't the only issue. Bananas also contribute to fluid retention, especially in people with heart or kidney concerns. The sodium-potassium balance becomes more sensitive with age, and excess potassium combined with high sugar intake may lead the body to hold on to water, causing swelling in the feet, stiffness in the knees, and discomfort even after sitting or resting. You might think, but I've always eaten bananas. They're healthy, right? That's exactly what makes this so deceptive. Because bananas have been marketed as a health food for decades, most people never question whether they're still right for them now. But the truth is, what served you well in your 30s may not serve your joint circulation and metabolism in your 60s or beyond. So how can you tell if bananas are affecting you? Look for signs like morning stiffness in the legs, heaviness or dull aching after breakfast, increased puffiness around ankles during the day, difficulty walking uphill or after meals. If you experience these and bananas are a regular part of your diet, it might be time to reassess. Should you eliminate bananas completely? Not necessarily. The key is context and balance. If you're still fairly active, have stable blood sugar, and no signs of swelling or stiffness, you might tolerate a banana just fine. But if you've noticed any of the symptoms above, try cutting back and observe how your body responds. Better alternative: switch to avocados. They're also rich in potassium, but without the high sugar content. In fact, avocados contain healthy fats that actually help regulate blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and protect your joints. They also support satiety, making them an excellent choice for breakfast or a midday snack. Another tip: never eat bananas alone, especially on an empty stomach. Pairing a banana with fiber like oats or protein like yogurt or nut butter can help slow down the absorption of sugars and reduce insulin spikes. In the end, it's not about demonizing any food. It's about listening to your body and understanding that nutrition after 60 is not the same as before 40. Bananas are not the enemy, but they may no longer be your best ally. Choose wisely. Your legs deserve it. Grapes, the uric acid bomb. They're small, sweet, easy to snack on, and often marketed as healthy. Grapes have long enjoyed a reputation as a smart antioxidant, rich fruit. And it's true, they contain resveratrol, a compound that has shown some cardiovascular benefits. But there's a part of the story that rarely gets told, especially to seniors. Behind that innocent sweetness lies a dangerous sugar called fructose. Unlike glucose, which is absorbed and used by nearly every cell in the body, fructose is metabolized almost exclusively by the liver. And when the liver receives more fructose than it can handle, it turns it into fat and, more critically, uric acid. This is where the trouble begins for your legs. Uric acid doesn't just affect your kidneys, it accumulates in your joints, especially in areas like your toes, ankles, and knees. Over time, this build up can lead to joint irritation, stiffness, and even gout, like pain. That strange burning sensation in your big toe at night, the stiffness in your calves that seems to flare up out of nowhere. It could very well be the grapes you snacked on all afternoon. And here's the sneaky part, grapes are far too easy to overeat. They're bite-sized, light, convenient. You don't need to cut or peel them, you just reach into the bowl again and again. Before you know it, you've eaten 2 or even 3 cups. That's a massive fructose load for your liver to process, especially in one sitting. And for seniors with slower metabolism, the impact is even greater. The result: intermittent swelling in the feet or ankles, burning pain in the toes, especially at night, a dull ache in the knees after walking, general stiffness or heaviness in the legs. And because the effects don't show up immediately, grapes rarely get blamed. You might think it's just fatigue, aging, or a sign you walked too much. But internally, your joints may be under constant low-grade attack from elevated uric acid. Fructose also contributes to chronic inflammation, a root cause of many age-related issues from arthritis to vascular stiffness. The more often you consume high fructose fruits like grapes, the more likely it is that inflammation is silently spreading throughout your body. And it doesn't take much. A daily handful over weeks and months can gradually chip away at your mobility. For someone over 60, this silent erosion of leg strength and joint comfort can be deeply frustrating. You may wonder, but I thought grapes were good for my heart? Yes, they can be, but only in small amounts, and only if your body can handle the sugar load. If you already have signs of inflammation, leg pain, or a history of uric acid build, up grapes might be doing more harm than good. So, what's the better approach? Limit your grape intake to no more than 1/2 cup per serving and avoid mindless snacking. Never eat grapes on an empty stomach. Combine them with a meal that includes protein and fiber to slow down sugar absorption. Better yet, consider switching to blackberries or raspberries. These fruits are lower in fructose, higher in fiber, and contain compounds that actually help lower uric acid levels. They also support healthy circulation and fight inflammation without triggering sugar spikes. And here's an important tip if you've ever experienced a sudden burning pain in your big toe ankle stiffness that wakes you at night, or calves that feel sore without activity. It's time to evaluate your fruit habits, starting with grapes. Remember, not all fruits are created equal, especially as we age. In your 30s, grapes might have been a harmless snack, but now they could be the quiet force slowing you down one sugary bite at a time. You deserve to move freely, walk confidently, and feel strong in your legs. Don't let the sweetest fruit be your silent saboteur. Watermelon, the sugar trap. It's the poster child for summer, light, juicy, colorful, and incredibly refreshing. Watermelon is often seen as one of the safest fruits. After all, it's mostly water, low in calories, and perfect for hydration. Right? That's what most people believe, until they look deeper. Despite its watery texture, watermelon has one of the highest glycemic indexes of all fruits. That means it raises your blood sugar faster than many candies. For seniors whose insulin sensitivity has likely decreased with age, this sugar rush is more than just a temporary spike. It can lead to inflammation, circulation issues, and gradual weakening of the lower limbs. Let's break this down. When you eat watermelon, its natural sugars, mainly glucose and fructose, are absorbed rapidly. Your pancreas responds by releasing insulin, but if your body isn't handling insulin efficiently anymore, this process becomes erratic. The result? spikes, and crashes. And each cycle of that metabolic roller coaster causes stress to your blood vessels, particularly the small capillaries that supply oxygen and nutrients to your legs and joints. Over time, those repeated sugar spikes can wear down your circulation, reduce oxygen delivery, and trigger inflammatory responses in your knees, ankles, and calves. You might not feel it right away, but you may notice a strange heaviness in your legs, swelling around your ankles in the afternoon, a dull ache after walking even just a block or two, trouble climbing stairs without that dragging sensation. And because watermelon is so light and filling, it's incredibly easy to overeat. One slice turns into three, a few chunks become half a bowl, and since it doesn't feel heavy, you don't notice how much sugar you're consuming until your body does. The biggest misconception: people think they're staying hydrated by eating watermelon. But in truth, if it leads to blood sugar crashes, it can mimic the symptoms of dehydration: low energy, lightheadedness, sluggish muscles. It's deceptive. You think you're nourishing your body, but the effect is the exact opposite, especially in older adults. Another hidden issue: watermelon can worsen symptoms of diabetes or insulin resistance, two conditions that silently affect a large number of seniors. And because blood sugar regulation plays a key role in maintaining joint health and leg energy, even a harmless fruit like watermelon can accelerate weakness if consumed too frequently. So what can you do? First, be mindful of portion control. Watermelon should be treated like a sweet dessert, not a main course. Limit yourself to 1 cup per serving and avoid eating it alone on an empty stomach. Second, always pair it with something stabilizing, like a handful of almonds or a piece of lean protein. This slows digestion, reduces sugar spikes, and lessens the metabolic load on your system. Third, try substituting with papaya. This soft tropical fruit is rich in enzymes that help reduce inflammation and support digestion, without causing massive spikes in blood sugar. It's gentle on the gut kind to your joints and far less likely to cause swelling or fatigue in your legs. You may be thinking, but I love watermelon. Do I really have to give it up? Not entirely. The key is moderation and awareness. If you notice patterns, like swelling in your lower limbs after meals or extra fatigue after snacking on watermelon, it may be time to adjust. Because when it comes to aging, well, not all fruit is neutral. Some help restore you. Others, like watermelon, may silently set you back, and in the long run, your legs will tell the truth. Oranges, the citrus culprit. Oranges are among the most iconic health symbols in the modern diet. They're bright, refreshing, packed with vitamin C, and often promoted as a natural way to strengthen immunity. Orange juice is a breakfast staple in millions of homes, and for decades we've been told that oranges are essential to stay healthy. But for aging bodies, particularly after 60, this golden fruit may be hiding a darker side. What most people don't realize is that oranges, while nutritious in some ways, are extremely high in citric acid. And for seniors already battling joint stiffness, inflammation, or arthritis, this acidity can quietly make things worse. Think of it like pouring lemon juice on an open cut, except the cut is inside your joints. Here's what happens. As you age, your joint tissues become more fragile and less hydrated. Cartilage wears down, circulation slows. This creates the perfect storm for low grade inflammation to take hold. And when you introduce acidic foods like oranges, especially in large or regular amounts, it can irritate these sensitive tissues even further. The result? You may start to notice morning stiffness that takes longer to fade, sore hips or knees after sitting for a while, a subtle burning sensation in your joints after eating certain foods, swelling that creeps in around the ankles without obvious cause. Many people chalk this up to aging. They assume it's normal, but often it's their very diet that's feeding the fire without them realizing it. And it's not just the acid. Oranges also contain a significant amount of natural sugar, especially when consumed as juice. 1 glass of orange juice can contain as much sugar as a soda. That sugar, combined with citric acid, creates a double hit to your joints, raising blood sugar, which triggers inflammation, and delivering acid, which aggravates joint linings. If you've ever woken up feeling unusually tight or had a sudden flare in knee discomfort after breakfast, take a look at what was on your plate. Did it include a fresh orange or a tall glass of juice? Juice is especially problematic. When you drink juice, you're removing the fiber that helps regulate sugar absorption. You're left with a fast, acting liquid sugar bomb combined with concentrated acidity. It floods your bloodstream, spikes your insulin, and may even lead to rebound inflammation hours later. Now, that doesn't mean you have to give up oranges entirely, but it does mean you should think carefully about how often, how much, and in what form you consume them. Here's what Miss GPT recommends. Avoid drinking orange juice on an empty stomach. Limit yourself to half an orange no more than a few times a week. Always eat the whole fruit, not juice, for added fiber and slower absorption. If you already experience joint issues, consider cutting oranges out for 2 weeks and observe any improvement in stiffness, swelling, or mobility. Looking for a safer alternative? Try kiwis or strawberries. Both are rich in vitamin C, yet far lower in acid and sugar. They also contain powerful antioxidants that support tissue repair and circulation, without irritating the joints. Even papaya is an excellent option with enzymes that soothe rather than inflame. The bigger picture is this. Even foods that were once good for you may become less compatible as your body changes. What helps a 30-year-old maintain wellness might slowly erode a 65-year-old's joint integrity. So the next time you reach for an orange, ask yourself, am I eating this because it supports my body, or because I've always assumed it does? In your 60s and beyond, assumptions can be costly. Inflammation doesn't always scream, but over time it steals. It steals your flexibility, your energy, your ability to walk without pain. And if you can prevent that by making a smarter choice at breakfast, it's a small price to pay for stronger legs and smoother mornings. Green apples, the hidden irritant. They look fresh, crisp, and harmless. Green apples are often viewed as the healthiest type of apple. Low in sugar, high in fiber, and great for digestion. For many people, especially seniors trying to watch their weight or blood sugar, green apples seem like the smart snack. But beneath that sour bite lies a problem that few talk about: malic acid and hidden sugars, two things that can quietly wear down your joints, muscles, and circulation over time. Let's begin with malic acid, the very compound that gives green apples their signature tartness. While malic acid can be beneficial in small amounts for energy production in aging bodies with weaker digestive systems and inflamed joints, it becomes a subtle irritant. The older we get, the more sensitive our gut lining and joint tissues become. Malic acid, when consumed regularly, can aggravate both. What does this look like in daily life? You may feel a dull ache in your hips or thighs after eating an apple, a strange warmth in your knees even when you haven't moved much, mild burning in your feet, or stiffness in your calves during the night. A general sense of joint tightness you can't explain. Because these symptoms are subtle, most people never trace them back to something as innocent as an apple. But over time, daily exposure to even low-level irritants like malic acid adds up, especially when your joints are already fighting arthritis, old injuries, or circulation problems. And that's only half the issue. Green apples, while less sweet than red varieties, still contain natural sugars. When eaten on their own, especially late in the day or before bed, they can trigger small blood sugar spikes. For someone over 60 with a slowing metabolism, this leads to overnight leg cramps, morning stiffness, and even restless sleep due to poor circulation. Many seniors tend to snack on apples in the evening, thinking they're choosing something light and healthy. But for the aging body, even small sugar fluctuations late in the day can disrupt circulation and worsen joint discomfort. Let's not forget the role of timing and pairing. When you eat an apple alone, without protein or fat, the sugars are absorbed faster and the acids hit your stomach and bloodstream more sharply. This combination is especially harmful if consumed before long periods of rest, like sleeping or sitting for extended hours. So, what can you do instead? If you love green apples, you don't have to cut them out entirely. but change how and when you eat them. Here's what Miss GPT recommends. Only eat green apples earlier in the day, preferably before 2 p.m. Always pair them with protein or fat, like almond butter or a slice of cheese, to slow sugar absorption. Never eat them right before bed. Try having them with a meal, not as a standalone snack. And if you've been experiencing unexplained hip pain, night cramps, or stiffness in your knees, try removing green apples from your diet for 10 to 14 days. Many seniors notice a clear improvement in leg comfort, mobility, and sleep quality when they make this small adjustment. Looking for a better option? Try pears. They're gentler on the digestive system, contain less acid, and still offer fiber without the sharp sugar spike. Pears also blend well with protein snacks and are less likely to trigger joint discomfort or gut irritation. In the end, the lesson is simple. Not everything that's less sweet is automatically safer. Green apples may not be as sugary as other fruits, but their acid profile and sugar absorption rate still carry risks for aging bodies. You've worked hard to stay active. Don't let a seemingly smart snack quietly set you back. With one simple change, like swapping your afternoon green apple for a more joint-friendly option, you could be sleeping better, moving more freely, and waking up with stronger, steadier legs. Mango, the natural candy that hurts. Soft, sweet, tropical, and irresistible. Mango is one of the most beloved fruits in the world. It's often considered a guilt-free treat, a natural dessert that satisfies sugar cravings without the dangers of processed foods. For many, it feels like the healthiest indulgence you can enjoy. But for seniors over 60, that indulgence may come with a hidden cost. Mango is more than just a sweet fruit. It's a sugar bomb wrapped in a healthy image. One medium mango can contain over 45 grams of natural sugar. That's more than a slice of cake. And while your body may have handled this kind of sugar load effortlessly in your younger years, aging changes everything. After 60, your metabolism slows down. Insulin sensitivity decreases. Blood sugar takes longer to regulate. And every time you eat a high sugar fruit like mango, your body is forced to work harder to stabilize itself. This often results in blood sugar spikes, followed by sudden crashes that lead to fatigue, inflammation, and joint discomfort. What does this mean for your legs? Each sugar spike can inflame the soft tissues around your knees, ankles, and hips. Over time, this leads to a burning sensation in your toes or heels, tingling or numbness in your feet, especially in the evening, a creeping sense of heaviness in your legs, sluggish walking, and difficulty with balance. These symptoms may seem unrelated at first, but if you find yourself enjoying mangoes regularly, especially large portions or in smoothies, the connection becomes clearer. Mango also stimulates a strong insulin response, which affects not just your blood sugar, but also your inflammatory pathways. When insulin is released too frequently or in high volumes, it contributes to chronic low-grade inflammation, one of the root causes of joint pain, nerve irritation, and muscle stiffness in older adults. And here's the trickiest part. Mango feels light. It's not dense like a pastry or chocolate bar. That lightness makes it deceptively easy to overeat. A few chunks quickly turn into an entire mango. A scoop of mango smoothie becomes a full glass. Before you know it, you've consumed more sugar than your body can manage, and the effects will show up in your legs long before they appear on the scale. So, what should you do if mango is one of your favorite fruits? You don't have to ban it entirely, but you do need to respect its power. Here's what Miss GPT recommends. Limit your portion to 1/2 cup of fresh mango. Never eat mango alone. Always pair it with protein or healthy fat, like Greek yogurt, or a few walnuts. Avoid mango in smoothies or juices where sugar is concentrated and fiber is lost. Skip mango altogether if you already experience nerve sensitivity, foot burning, or evening leg fatigue. Looking for a replacement? Try cherries in moderation. Unlike mango, cherries contain compounds that help lower uric acid and ease joint pain. A small handful can reduce inflammation and offer a sweet treat without overwhelming your blood sugar. Another excellent alternative is avocado. While technically a fruit, avocado provides healthy fats, potassium, and blood sugar regulation benefits, all without the sugar surge. In the end, mango teaches us one critical lesson. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's neutral. For a younger body, mango may be a tropical delight. But for aging joints, fragile nerves, and slowing circulation, it can quietly rob you of the very strength and steadiness you're trying to protect. You don't have to fear mango, you just have to outsmart it, with smarter portions, better pairings, and a body. First, mindset. Because when your legs carry your independence, every fruit choice matters. Now that you know which fruits might be silently working against your legs, it's time to shift your focus toward the ones that truly support your health. You don't need to stop eating fruit altogether. You simply need to become more selective, more intentional. Choose fruits that nourish without triggering inflammation, that energize without spiking your blood sugar, and that support circulation rather than strain it. Add more berries into your meals. Blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries are rich in antioxidants and low in sugar, making them ideal for protecting delicate blood vessels and fighting inflammation. Introduce cherries, sparingly, especially if you experience joint discomfort. Their compounds help reduce uric acid and ease swelling. Include avocados regularly. They're rich in healthy fats that stabilize blood sugar and cushion your joints from within. Embrace papaya, a fruit with enzymes that soothe the digestive system and reduce joint stress. And don't overlook pears, gentle, fibrous, and easy on aging systems. Pair all fruits with proteins or healthy fats to slow down sugar absorption and reduce insulin spikes. Eat fruit earlier in the day when your body is more metabolically active, and pay attention to how your body responds after each meal. Most importantly, begin treating food not just as fuel, but as a tool, an active partner in your strength, your independence, and your future. The right fruit in the right form at the right time can do more than satisfy a craving. It can help you walk stronger, rest better, and move through life with steadier, lighter steps. If this video opened your eyes even just a little, then your journey to stronger, healthier legs has already begun. Leave a comment below and type 1 if this information helped you, or 0 if you feel the same as before. Your voice matters, your experience matters, and by sharing you help others feel less alone in their struggle. If you found this content valuable, please don't forget to hit the like button. It lets us know we're making a difference. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and make sure you turn on notifications so you never miss another video that could improve your health and your independence. We're building a community here, one that empowers you with truth, supports you with knowledge, and walks with you step by step toward a stronger future. Because your legs don't just carry your body, they carry your life. Take care of them, and they will take care of you.